everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I know I've been away for a week, so there's plenty of Harry Potter TV show news to talk about, and I have plenty of thoughts, so let's just jump right into it because it is a lot. So first things first, this comes from the Harry Potter Reddit HBO page. It's all about the show, castings, fan stuff, all this other stuff, and it's pretty good to check it every couple of days. So the first thing is, another Nepo hire. It seems Thandie Newton's 24-year-old daughter, Ripley Parker, is now writing for the series despite limited writing experience. Huh? So I'm like, it's Reddit. It could just be fake. But unfortunately, it's real because this comes from Jason Isaacs, who played Lucius Malfoy in the Harry Potter movies, and who is the godfather of Ripley Parker. And he says, one of the writers is my goddaughter, Ripley Parker, who's a brilliant writer and has loved Harry Potter from the very first time she could touch the book. The fact that she's in the writer's room makes me love it and wish it well. And it's like, hang on, well, how much writing does she have? How much writing experience, you know? Well, let's just go and look, shall we? Ripley Parker. That's it. This is it. This is all she's got. This is what you're doing? Seriously? Huh? Ha. This is it. This is all she's done. She's 24 years old and she's got, what, 2 things to her name? Congratulations. 2 things, and you're giving her a writer role on one of the biggest franchises and biggest IPs in the world. Like, are we insane? And then it comes down here and it says, with this and Josephine Gardner, relative of showrunner Francesca Gardner, also being hired as a writer despite having no previous screenwriting experience, I am so far super unimpressed with the fact that this show seems to hire 2 nepotism hires in the writer's room so far. It's like, bruh, what are we doing? What are we doing? Huh? So, like, that's just the first thing that came off, and I'm just like, oh my god. And everyone's kind of annoyed saying, like, this leaves a bad impression. It matters because someone probably didn't get the job. That's the cost of nepotism, which is true. It's like somebody might have been better at the job. Now, we don't know that for sure, but, like, really? Really? Yikes. And this is also true. Just think how mad you'd be if you knew about how often this happens in other shows you've watched. True. But the thing is, when you already have people on the Harry Potter team already saying that they never were fans of the books and never read them, it's like, how many are there? 36, apparently. Anyway, moving on. This is the big news, and this happened again whilst I was away, so apologies for not covering this right away, but let's talk about it now. So this comes from the official Harry Potter website. It says, further casting confirmed for HBO original Harry Potter series, including Molly Weasley, Draco, and Lucius Malfoy, Mr. and Mrs. Dursley, and more. So let's go through it. Molly Weasley, Draco, and Lucius Malfoy, Seamus Finnegan, Parvati Patil, Lavender Brown, Mr. and Mrs. Dursley, and Cornelius Fudge have officially been cast. Read on to see who's playing them in the upcoming HBO original Harry Potter series. So, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Molly Weasley will be played by BAFTA winner Catherine Parkinson, which I went and looked who she is. Gotta be honest, don't really know a whole lot about her. I think I've seen this movie, the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society, what it was. I watched that movie. Fantastic movie, but the rest of it, I can't say that I know her from anything. Now, that doesn't mean anything because I know nobody, so I'm not really all that worried, you know? Then it says, well, Draco and Lucius Malfoy, who will be played by Locks Pratt and Johnny Flynn. Now, Locks, he's new. Locks, whatever you want to call his name. He's a new kid. There's nothing to his name. Johnny Flynn, I don't really know anything about him either. This is him. I don't know. But then again, like, I'm not really knowing anything. However, I feel like Jason Isaacs is going to be a really hard person to beat, personally. Joining the cast of Hogwarts students are Leo Early, who plays Seamus Finnegan, or Alicia Leone takes on fellow Gryffindor housemate Parvati Patil. Sienna Musa, I think is how you say her last name, will play Parvati's best friend, Lavender Brown. Now, I will say, I like that they finally got Lavender Brown cast. right away, because Neville mentions Parvati in the first Harry Potter movie, but you don't really ever see her either, so like, that's nice that we got the girls cast and it's actually settled. But here's what I don't like, and it starts to get weird. Belle Powley has been cast as Patunia Dursley, with BAFTA winner Daniel Rigby joining her as Vernon Dursley. And double Oliver and Tony Award-winning performer Bertie Carvel will be portraying Cornelius Fudge. So, here's Molly, here's Draco, here's Lucius, here's Seamus, Parvati Patil, Lavender Brown, and what is that? That's Patunia Dursley. She's a babe. What are you doing? And that's supposed to be Uncle Vernon. Like, huh? He's a babe too. And that's supposed to be Cornelius Fudge. And I gotta be honest, really hard to see anyone else other than Robert Hardy as Cornelius Fudge. He did a great job. So let's just talk about these characters for a minute, shall we? Before I go into each character, I do want to point out that they completely turned off comments again for Harry Potter Instagram page, because of course they did, right? Of course they would do that. And then, to really put into perspective, this is the next post that they made, and everyone's like, not my Snape, not my Snape, not my Snape, listen to the fans, not my Snape, you see? Click plus. And then the drama, recast, not my Snape. Do you see how this is? Like, this is not going over very well. And speaking of Snape, this is some new fan art of Severus Snape. Like, are we serious? Like, how are they going to portray his hair? Anyway, hooray! Even quarterback Garrett's like, the Dursleys, what the fuck is the casting director smoking? And I'm like, that's what I'm saying. She's supposed to be ugly with a long neck, and he's supposed to be fat AF. Watch Dudley be a twig, which is entirely possible. It's like, what are they doing? What are they doing with these characters? Look at them. They're beautiful. I don't understand. Like, how is this supposed to work? She's supposed to have, like, a long neck and, like, horse-faced and everything. I'm sorry, she does not look horse-faced. I get that they're bringing the ages back down to, like, what it's supposed to be, and I'm happy with that, but, like, what else? Like, this is the only thing they're getting right? The ages? Because, I mean, they even said it, like, we're gonna make Snape the correct age, and it's like, but you didn't say the correct race or the correct description, so it's, like, the same shit with this. Like, he's supposed to be huge and beefy, neck and everything. Look at him. He's fit. But I don't understand. Like, here she is. This is her. I don't understand it. Now, I don't really know her from anything, and again, it doesn't mean jack shit if I don't know who a character or an actor is. But I'm sorry, I cannot picture this woman on the left as Patunia Dursley. Like, I'm sorry, you had Phoebe Waller-Bridge right there. She was like the perfect Patunia right there. And now we get this woman. I'm sorry, she's not Patunia Dursley. And then we also have, over here, this is Daniel Rigby. And I've seen him in a couple things. I mean, he was even in Flyboys all the way back in 2006, you know? He did do quite a bit of things, but I've not seen him in a whole lot. But I'm sorry. This guy? Really him? That's supposed to be Vernon Dursley? Like, are you going to give him a fat suit? Are you going to give Belle, like, prosthetics or something? Like, how is this going to work? Really, how is this going to work? Are we not allowed to be, like, fat shaming anymore? Like, are they gonna be super skinny and healthy and we're changing everything because, like, they were pieces of shit? Or, like, or are they really, like, the victims here? Like, how is this gonna work? I really want to know what they're gonna do here. Let me know, by the way, in the comments below if you think I'm insane or unhinged for this, but, like, this seems really, really fucking stupid. I'm just saying. I did want to point out this funny meme I saw last week where it says the actress cast as Patunia Dursley is younger than Daniel Radcliffe in real life, and it's Matt Damon. It's so true. It's like, oh my god, she is younger, which makes sense. She's supposed to be around, like, 32 or something, because Lily dies when she's 21 years old, and Petunia's, like, what, 2-3 years older than her? So yeah, 10 years later, she's in her early 30s. Makes sense, but it's just like, we are so old. Anyway, now let's keep going. Okay, so then Birdie is going to be Cornelius Fudge, like I said. I mean, maybe, I don't really know a whole lot, to be honest. Now, I do want to talk about the fact that we have Lucius Malfoy cast and Cornelius Fudge cast, because if you didn't know and you didn't read the first book, those two characters aren't even in the first book. So this means two things. One, they're changing the plot and they're introducing those characters into the first season because each season is a book. Or two, which I think is the most probable thing, is that they're filming seasons 1 and 2, so book 1 and 2, back to back. This is what I'm thinking. They're going to block everybody out, get everybody cast for the first and second season, And that's what's gonna happen. This is what I'm thinking. Now, let's continue on. Now, I did mention this, I think, like, on social media or Twitter, but, like, I literally called this. It was between this boy right here and this boy right here. I talked about it in my previous video. So it was between this boy and this boy. I kind of think this one looks a lot more mean than this one. He looks a little bit too young, to be completely honest. Like, he looks like he's 8 instead of 11 years old. So I'm fine with this casting choice. I do think it's really weird that somebody else besides Tom Felton is going to be Draco. I do think it's really weird. Here are all the images of all the actors cast so far. So we have Dominic, Arabella, Alistair, which, by the way, I had more time to think about Arabella. I understand people are like, she is like a lot more brown than she should be. And I totally agree. The more I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? You are right. She is more brown. And it's really annoying, to be honest, that you can't just cast all 3 white British people for Harry, Ron, and Hermione. However, maybe she's just darker white, you know? So, but she does kind of have that very nerdy vibe. I hate that word, but it's true. Like, if you've seen her act and all that, I think she will do a pretty darn good job. I'm really hoping they take Ron's character more serious because he's my favorite of the 3. And I gotta be honest, this guy playing Harry, too many freckles on his face. Harry doesn't have freckles, and he's got blue eyes, so what are we doing there? We're going to change them to green? I know Daniel Radcliffe obviously had the blue eyes, but at least they try with the contacts, right? But are they going to give him contacts? They better, I'm just saying. Now we have John Lithgow as Dumbledore, fucking Papa as Snape. We have Janet McTeer, Paul Whitehouse, Luke Fallon, Nick Frost, who, by the way, apparently there was an interview that came out that said the filming for him would be like 10 to 11 months worth of filming, so that's interesting. We have Catherine as Molly Locks as Draco, Johnny Flynn as Lucius Malfoy, which we do have something to talk about with that because Jason Isaacs made a very nice post.
I just heard that the great Johnny Flynn will be playing Lucius Malfoy in the new Harry Potter TV series, which is sensational news for Harry Potter fans, of which I'm one, because Johnny is a brilliant actor. Rather irritatingly, he's a brilliant musician as well, and he's a really lovely guy. We did a film called Operation Mincemeat together, and I adored him. As you will too, when you see him in the show. I can't wait to see what he comes up with. So, Johnny, if you ever watch this, enjoy yourself. Top tip, watch out for those elves, pointy-eared, backstabbing little bastards. They'll get you. And have fun. I'll see you at Hogwarts.
Okay, so that's it. Of course, there's always the anti-trans bullshit. Oh my god. Anyway, so that's a nice message. I think he's very classy, right, leaving that message. I think he's the only actor, I think, so far who said anything. I may be wrong about the new castings. Leo Early as Seamus Finnegan. I do actually have a little clip of Leo talking, so I figured I'll just have this for you guys. So here is...
Except if he was going to bed or into mass. And my mother said, sure, he slept in the 2 places.
And I'm not going to play a whole lot because I don't want to get hit just in case I am, but very Irish, so that's a plus. At least they got him right. Now here's where it gets absolutely bonkers. Here's where I want to talk about the casting of Parvati Patil. So first off, one thing, why didn't they announce Padma? They're supposed to be identical twins, and if you don't believe me, it says it right here. Parvati Patil attended Hogwarts along with her identical twin sister Padma. So like, if she's identical, is this actress supposed to be playing both roles and like they'll just be twisting it up with CGI and body doubles and all that? Or is there going to be like the same case with the Harry Potter movies where they just cast 2 different actresses and they became fraternal? Now I know also in the movies they made both characters Gryffindor. Well, however, Parvati's a Gryffindor, but Padma is actually a Ravenclaw student, see? So I'm curious to see if they're going to announce the casting for that, like later on down the line with other Gryffindors and Ravenclaws or whatever. But let's continue because this is nuts. So, look at this. This comes from the Hindustan Times. Harry Potter fans furious after HBO cast Italian actor as Parvati Patil in upcoming TV series. So much for diversity. So, this is the new girl. I think she's adorable, first of all, but it's just so insane. So here, this is the tweet that they're talking about. This is frustrating. Why cast an Italian who just looks brown to play Parvati Patil? They easily could have cast an actual Indian actress. So much for diversity. No hate to the kid, but still, you telling me this chick isn't Indian? Look at her. She's an Indian. She was probably born and raised in Italy, but comes from an Indian family. Like, are we really doing that? This guy probably had absolutely no problem casting Black Snape. Guaranteed this guy's totally fine about it. So I wrote down, saying on Twitter, this is why I hardly have any Harry Potter friends. Basement dwellers like this exist. She's clearly Indian. The Patel twins are British Indians. They didn't have an Indian accent, so what is the problem? I bet you this moron applauded Black Snape. Which is insane. It's like, I don't understand this. Are we assuming she's just Italian based on her last name? Who says her mom isn't straight up Bangladesh? This is stupid. She looks the part. There's almost nothing anywhere about this girl because she's so new to the scene. People need to chill out. And it's entirely true. She doesn't even really have an IMDb page, and the only thing that's on there is that she's going to be Parvati Patil in Harry Potter. So we know nothing about this girl, and you're just basing off of a name. Like, oh my god. Don't you think that's racist? Or something, or some type of ist. Anyway, that's basically the whole entire article, but I wanted to laugh because these morons on the Indian Express indulge, saying Harry Potter reboot fans slam HBO for casting Italian actress Parvati Patil. So that's Padma. That is Padma Patil, played by Afshin. Wrong a character. So you guys are stupid anyway, because you can't even get your character straight. So yeah, that's just insane that like we are at this place where we have people getting mad because this Indian chick has an Italian last name. Like, what? Anyway, let's keep going. Now, I did want to talk about two potential, like, casting announcements. Now, I've talked about Ginny Weasley and all that, but there might be two others. So, first of all, the rumors are going around saying that this might be Neville Longbottom. And I gotta be honest, you know what this looks like? This looks like PlayStation 1 Neville Longbottom. Bruh. It's PlayStation 1 Neville. It literally is PlayStation 1 Neville. Perfect. I'm down for it. Now, it also could potentially be Dudley Dursley with the big chubby cheeks, you know? Now, I'm curious as what they're going to do for, like, casting Dudley. Like, considering we just saw that they glammed up Patunia and Vernon, I'm wondering if they're going to make, like, Dudley, like, really, really skinny or really good looking or something like that. Anyway, that's just a potential rumor. Now, I gotta be honest, remember how I talked about Neville Longbottom, how he could be, like, race swapped? I'm really hoping that I am incorrect, and I'm really hoping that this kid right here is Neville. I really hope so, otherwise, Supposedly, this may be Dean Thomas. This is Elliot Heffernan, I think is how you say his last name, and he follows Arabella Stanton on Instagram. So maybe, just maybe, that's the new Dean Thomas. Now, again, it's gonna be super weird to see all these characters be portrayed by somebody else, but you never know. Let's keep going. So then we have all these characters cast. We have Lavender Brown, Sienna, and yeah, obviously, I'm not really fond of these castings. So, like, I feel like some of these castings are good and some of these are bad. I am not for the Dursleys. I am obviously not for Snape. I'm honestly not for John Lithgow. I'm sorry, but it's too risky. He's just too old. I mean, you literally have Jude Law right there. Use him. Age him up. He was already playing Dumbledore. And of course, yeah, the main trio, I don't know. I'm iffy. I think the one I like the most is probably Alistair. But yeah. Like I said, I have no problem with Sienna or any of these little Gryffindor kids playing it. I just think it's super weird that they were going to have like a whole other Seamus Finnegan just because I thought Devin did such a good job as Seamus Finnegan. Like, perfect. Loved it. So I am wondering when they're going to do more announcements. Like, we still have yet to see anything from the Fred and George Weasley, Ginny Weasley, obviously Padma Patil, Crabbe and Goyle, Dudley Dursley. There's so many characters still to be cast or still to be announced. I'm sure they're already cast. However, let me know your thoughts all below, guys. I'm sorry I was late. Like I said, I was away for a good week. But let me know all your thoughts below. Do you think I'm blowing things out of proportion? Do you think I have, like, some good ideas or takes? Let me know everything, and I'll see you guys all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.